I'm sure that the Trump fans may come in. Yeah, the Pedro's favorite MAGA people may show up.
Hey,
Like,
listen,
this is your fault. This is why this happened. And the funny thing is, and we could just like jump right in though. Um, so it was like a usual Sunday for me, and I'm
yeah,
Hannibal. That guy over there is Pedro. Mr. Bet on you. That's what they call him.
thank you. Hannibal's hungry. Thank you.
So thank you. I should just call myself Hannibal. Hannibal's hungry, but it's stuck. I'm not changing it.
You can't. You can't.
No, I can't. So it was a usual Sunday for me. I think
Yeah.
I was watching the games finally. I was actually there you go. Giggity's here. We'll
Gigs here.
give Pedro the business. But I was watching the games. I actually had it on the computer because I didn't have my Roku or no Amazon Fire stick
Yeah.
that I use. So I was on the computer watching the games, watching the Giants. If the Giants can't beat the Commanders, I don't know who they can beat.
Yeah.
This is what I've been saying this for as long as I talk to you. We can beat the Commanders. That's the only thing I know, right? Death, taxes, beating the Commanders. How does the team, the Giants, lose to a team that did not score a touchdown?
It's crazy. It's crazy. I didn't watch that game. I didn't watch that game.
Don't bother. You didn't bother. You didn't
I
miss
was,
anything.
keeping up with the score, and it was pretty close. And then obviously, I guess they won it at the end, right? With no time.
Yeah, it was. Well, the kicker scored all the points, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, listen.
Yeah,
Hannibal, we're both down bad. I watched the Bears game last night. I don't even know. It's.
Do you miss Justin Fields?
Well, Justin Fields is 2-0 with the Steelers, so
yeah. It's too early to say much of it because we all do. But he. I mean, he's 2-0.
Yeah. The Texans are a good team. Listen, I'll say this. I'll try to be a little positive. The Bears have a phenomenal defense. We have a top 5 defense in the NFL. The issue is our offensive line is shit. We can't push the ball down the field, and Caleb Williams is running for his life. So, hopefully we can get some things together, but the defense is stout. Really, really good.
Yeah. I think we all have to stop thinking that every rookie quarterback is going to come in and start lighting it up. And I think, players like Cam and RG3 and
CJ Stroud.
And CJ Stroud, and you seeing anomalies. This is not normal for a quarterback to just jump in. You probably, thank you, Bobby. Probably. I mean, and even Carolina, they kind of realized pretty early, and I give it to them and say, hey, listen, Bryce is not ready, and we're gonna kill him, get somebody else. We're gonna bring him back. And for 2 games, pulling him back and being honest with him, I think that will help compared to just keeping him there and getting destroyed. So I know some people say don't ever bench your quarterback, it destroys him. No, he was getting effed up. It's not a good team. It's not a good line. 2 games, and they quickly kind of realized that to save it. It depends on his psyche. Hopefully he's like a strong-willed and he realized like, you know what? Yeah, right. This probably wasn't ready. That he could kind of come back. You put Andy Dalton. He's been there. He's been like a vet, been around the league. But yeah, like you get a new guy and you're dealing with a new guy with the Bears. It's hard. The NFL is difficult. I mean, I don't know if that's breaking news there, but it's really fucking hard.
Yeah, definitely not breaking news. But let me ask you this: I can't remember the last time a number 1 pick. There's been number 1 picks that have been busts. Jamarcus Russell, Ryan Leaf. There's been a few for the quarterback position. I can't remember last time a starting quarterback. We started 17 games last year. He's 2 games into his second season, and he's benched. I don't know. That's a pretty short string.
I mean, it's not good. It's definitely not a positive thing.
Not good.
But clearly there's something going on, and they don't look great. But I don't think anyone thought they were going to do anything special. It could be more to it. I mean, sometimes you'll kind of realize that later on. I mean, they only scored 3 points. I mean, the Chargers was beating shit out of them. I mean, Justin did his thing. 2 touchdowns. It didn't look great. But a lot of It's interesting that the talent of the quarterbacks in our league. There's like the top tier, which is probably like 5, and there's a lot of mediocre shit. And then there's really bad at the bottom, where
Yeah.
Daniel Jones is hanging out at this moment.
Yeah, it's
he
the quarterback.
2 touchdowns,
Yeah,
but you're supposed to beat the Commanders.
yeah. I mean, I think the Daniels guy, the quarterback, the rookie, he's played actually pretty well the first 2 games. He's been all right. Like, he's not lighting it up, but he's not making a lot of mistakes. I think he's got a rushing touchdown or 2. He's been okay. He's been better. He's done more than Caleb Williams.
Yeah,
he's been the best rookie so far. It's not even close. So they have that, but the Giants and Bears leaving a lot on the table for both of us. It's not good. The Bears, it just sucks, man, because we could have won. We were in that game. We were in that game. So a lot of mistakes on offense, and the Bryce Young though thing is a little odd because he hasn't played a whole lot and his team's bad, but they got to do something. But at this point, I'm thinking, listen, Andy Dalton's coming in. Sometimes you get a little bit of a bump.
Yeah, usually a little bump, at least the first game or 2.
I got to see who they're playing, but I'm almost like, I want to bet the Panthers to lose every game and roll over that money all year long. And you could turn $100 into like probably a decent amount of money if you just bet them to lose every game the rest of the year.
They look like the worst team in football, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
they're
pretty bad. The only surprise I saw, not surprise, I loved it. Dallas losing, getting their asses kicked. Always love it when the Cowboys lose.
Things look good.
It makes me feel better. And the Ravens losing, and they're 0-2, which is not great. They lost to the Las Vegas. That's a weird name. The Raiders. Garnett and miss you just throwing to Devontae Adams a couple times there, but
crazy. Yeah, I mean, the kickers have been crazy. 50, 60-yard field goals like it's nothing. It's weird, but
that is weird, right? I feel like in some years they're missing them, and now they're hitting them. It's
yeah.
Are you a kicking expert? Do you have any like insights on what's going on? Are they taking supplements?
I think
drinking some sea moss or something, or
I think they're bigger. But think about some of the kickers we've seen back in the day, and even some of them now can be small. I think these guys just got better diet, better strength, better conditioning, better equipment, and it's allowing you just to kick the ball further, more consistently. That's the best that I can think of, because it seems like now kicking a 50-yard field goal back in the day, you should be like, kind of like a coin flip if it's
right. It was difficult, or at least you'd be like,
yeah.
I'm gonna make it. I know the what's the kicker for the Ravens? He's a great, Hall of Famer, but he's been slouching. He's been kind of slipping as lip. I don't know. I doubt they're going to kick him off, but he may be, a little bit old. They may need a guy, because he didn't miss. He missed one, and they lost by 3 points. So
he's still he's the best kicker ever statistically.
Right.
He'll be in the Hall of Fame, but he's getting maybe he's getting a little bit older. Who knows? But he's kicked a lot. But I didn't expect the Ravens to be 0-2. Bengals are 0-2. Saints are 2-0. Buccaneers look good. Baker Mayfield's 2-0. The Rams are 0-2. And the Rams are kind of like a hot pick. I mentioned them as well. Like, hey, they might be pretty good. It's just so up and down. The 49ers are 1-1, but they've got no Christian McCaffrey. Deebo Samuel's going to be out. And they got somebody else hurt on that team as well. So it's been only 2 weeks, but it feels like it's been 8. A lot of it. So many things can change. Kirk Cousins doing what whatever. Same. All right, we'll see what happens at the end. But the Sunday was pretty good for the most part. But I remember seeing like a little, either a text notification or something on my phone about a shooting near a Trump golf course. When I first saw it, you heard about that? Yeah.
I saw the text and I thought, listen, I don't live in Florida. Don't know how far it is. Is it one of those things where shootings happen because the line between the really rich and really poor are pretty slim? So maybe there's some gangster shit happening across. Like, I don't know. I have no idea. But then later on, checking up on Twitter, I saw that there was this situation where a dude with an AK-47 is in the bushes, allegedly shooting at the former president. And this is wild stuff. Like, I don't know. I think sometimes we get stuck in social media and just listen to the most ridiculous out of the world stories all the time. But the fact that the president, former president of the United States, has been targeted to be assassinated close. Now, I'm sure there's tons of threats out there for all of the presidents that have been around. But to have 2 close calls in 2 months, that's a problem. Like, that's a significant problem.
So it sounds like you had the same thought I did at first. I was like, okay, they're saying there's a shooting at a golf club or golf course.
Or near it or something like that, yeah.
Yeah. My initial thought was like, okay, was there like an actual, was it towards Trump? Was Trump just there? I didn't know if they were blowing it out of proportion at first, just like with everything that happened a couple of months ago. Yeah. I didn't know, like, is this just like a happens to be because they're by the course, but it's somebody else that's involved. But it seems like, this guy was hiding out for 12 hours in the bushes, and I didn't hear that he shot any shots. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but the times that we're in right now, it's just odd to me that the last time that things like this were happening, I believe Ronald Reagan in the 80s got shot at going into a car, coming out of a car.
I think it's online actually. Yeah, I think I can find it actually real quick.
Yeah, that was 40 years ago.
And that shooting away, and I made a video about what happened to Trump and compared to Reagan. The way they got Reagan in that car, you didn't see him after the shots, and you realize he got shot. Compared to Trump, that's why I was annoyed with Trump getting up and do everything is social media. Everything is he needed the shot to make it seem like he made it. I was like, yo, get your fat ass and get down. What are you doing? You got time to raise your hand triumphantly that you didn't, because you don't know who there was other shooters. You have no idea what was going on. But let me show you. I'm going to show the Reagan one real quick.
Geekwax is saying Reagan got shot. I thought he got shot.
No, he got shot. He got shot. Yeah, he got shot.
Shit.
Yeah, he was shot. Yeah.
Okay.
They didn't know until they got into the car, but he got hit.
That's crazy, man. But that was 40 years ago, and to not have something happen like this, and now back to back, it's weird. It's concerning, man. It's fucked up. It's just, Let
me see if I can see. Yeah, so I think it's right here, and it's terrible quality. But yeah, but actually that's not the one. That's not the one. There's another attempt. There was another one. It was this one, I think. Was this the one? Yeah. Oh yeah. So as soon as that happened, they grabbed him as soon as possible and like threw him in there, threw the president, and they realized, I think, in the car that he was shot. And that was the one. Yeah, it was pretty quick in and out, but yeah, he was shot. He could have died.
Let me ask you a question real quick before I want to get your perspective on this. Do you think this has more to do with the state of men's mental health in this country, or is it people really don't like Donald Trump and there's some kind of like they really want to take him down? What do you think is going on here?
That's a good question. So we'll answer that question. Let's check out a little bit of who the person that is the shooting suspect. They have a little video. I didn't watch yet, so hopefully they actually give us a good idea of who this person is, and then we can kind of answer that question, because I think it's a very layered question, but I think it's important to kind of understand what's going on here. And let me know if you can hear it.
This is about good versus evil. This is any movie we've ever watched, this is definitely evil against good.
Now he was on social media. He had an X account. He said it was very anti-Trump. Well, a lot of
President Trump. They were on the 5th hole. They were about to go up to putt. They heard pop, 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 pop.
Oh, I didn't know he shot.
Not only he was able to shoot, he was able to get in his car and drive away. Like, this is crazy.
He left. They
in the bushes where this guy was is a AK-47 style rifle with a scope, 2 backpacks which were hung on the fence that had ceramic tile in them, and a GoPro, which he was going to take pictures of.
Question: how did he knew that Trump was going to be there that day?
We were able to get a hit on that vehicle on I-95 as it was headed into Martin County. We got a hold of Martin County Sheriff's Office, alerted them, and they spotted the vehicle and pulled it over and detained the guy.
Mm-hmm. And he already scrubbed a lot of his
The
stuff on social
suspect's
media.
demeanor I would describe as having a relatively calm, flat affect. Was not displaying a lot of emotion. Never asked, what is this about?
Interesting.
Bruno Mars. What is that?
Yeah, what the hell that thing doing? Oh, okay.
Stupid.
First of all, who doesn't like Bruno Mars? You know, maybe he's a monster. Who doesn't like Bruno Mars? That guy's a fantastic artist.
Yeah.
All right, so we could, let me see if we could check out more of it. I don't know what else they're going to say, but basically, he does not like Trump.
Yeah. He seemed, yeah. I mean,
okay, so like right here, your campaign should be called something like keep America democratic and free. Trump should be master, make slaves. Democracy is on the ballot, and we cannot lose. We cannot afford to fail. The world is counting on us to show the way.
Is that a tweet? Hold on, is that a tweet from that guy?
Yes.
Okay.
So
when did he tweet that? What's the date?
April 22nd this year. So Giggity says it has. We're talking about what caused this situation to happen, and I guess Giggity is being a little sarcastic. It got nothing to do with the Democratic leaders and the media dehumanizing Trump for the past 10 years. Gigwise says, I will admit I am a fan of Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars is a talented dude. I mean, it has nothing to do with the situation. Mars. Yeah, Bruno, I mean, a little too poppy sometimes, but whatever. It gets the girls to be happy and they'll dance stuff. But so is it mental health? Yes.
Yeah.
These is usually what happens when these are the kind of people who will go and try to take out the president. The problem is, and I think Giggity has it correct. If you are told every day for the past since 2016 that this is Hitler, wouldn't you try it? Think about it. Like if you were during that time where Hitler was running crazy, right, in Germany, and you were told he is going to kill everyone. What would you do? And you're a young man. Well, he's not that young. He's 58 years old. But if you've been told that this person is the most evil person in the world and he's going to destroy the country, what would you do? And if you consider yourself a freedom fighter, you consider yourself someone that's going to fight the good fight, you're going to save humanity. Because I've heard all of this talking about Trump. Trump is going to destroy us. Trump is going to enslave us again. Trump is Hitler.
I've heard some of that, but let me challenge you on this. So stick with me for a second. Yeah. So I hear that, but I hear people that don't like Democrats that say the exact same thing, which is the irony is that people are saying the Democrats are ruining the country and this isn't America. We need to make it great again. They don't like the AOC chick from New York, but nobody's trying to kill her, right? So and I think a lot of people think she's a bigger threat, or Miss Harris is a bigger threat, and other people. So it's just weird that the Donald Trump is literally taking the bullets, when I feel like there are other politicians that a large number of people feel like they are actually more of a threat to democracy than Donald Trump. So it's a weird America we're living in. The fact that this man almost died a couple months ago within an inch of his life, right? And then again, the Secret Service did a better job this time, because I guess what I heard, I don't know if you heard this, but they were 1 or 2 holes ahead of him. He was playing golf and they scoped the area out and they happened to see the AK, I guess, through the fence. And if they don't see that, the guy might get a lick off. So it's just weird, man. I can't grasp it. It almost seems like it's not real. Because this has only happened a handful of times in our history. So,
I'm sure all the presidents, all these politicians get threats. They definitely get. I'm sure AOC gets the threats. I'm sure all of the major politicians get the threats. The problem is with Trump, and it's a little different. He is so polarizing that there are people who would want him dead. I don't know if people I'm sure that it's probably the same with AOC or even Obama, but there's a certain level of hatred.
Yeah.
And Gigwise had a good point. We already went 4 years with him, and everything seems to be fine except the COVID thing. And I think I think he lost with COVID. I think he lost with there's a few issues. COVID, how it was handled. A lot of people say, Trump is law and order and he handles things. The entire country was burning for the whole summer. He didn't do anything. He didn't want to do the martial law. I think he should have. He didn't. He's like, let the states handle it. The entire country was, well, at least where I was at. I'm sure everyone else is probably chilling. New York was effed up. Bad. Chicago was effed up. California was effed up. We can say those places are still effed up now.
for different reasons.
Yeah, Trump he didn't do enough to control the situation, and then I think a lot of people got tired of the shtick. They got tired of the rhetoric, and they wanted anybody else, and they picked a man that couldn't think anymore. He was mentally off during that time. He stood in the basement the entire time. He didn't talk. He didn't say much or anything, except the only thing he said was, if you are black, well, if you don't vote for me, you're not black. And people still voted for him. Okay.
You're talking about Biden, to be clear.
Yeah. He beat Trump. And then we went with Biden, and you see how Biden is going. But I do believe that Giggly. Yeah. I mean, I don't know where you are, but the things were so bad and nothing happened. The cops didn't do anything, or they were fighting. In New York City, it was bad. I'll say that. It was.
I feel like you guys
something should have happened.
You guys got hit like from the jump, right? Like
right. There was riots every day. People were getting beat up. There was, especially that George Floyd thing was ridiculous. White people were just getting their heads beaten sometimes, and it had nothing to do with anything. Yeah. In Portland, they burned down a police station. Trump, I mean, you're a leader. So like when things are going crazy, I didn't see much of a leader during that time, in my opinion. Maybe there was a lose-lose. Maybe no one could have lead that situation, but I think that's why he lost. I think he lost because a lot of people got tired of the shtick. They got tired of it, and they wanted something totally different. Even though, was Biden the right guy? I mean, they pushed Biden through. How Biden even got to be the nominee anyway?
Biden's not the right guy. Harris isn't the right woman. But Trump's not the right man now either. That's the issue. And I've been saying that for the last few years. But I think with him and when I look back, I feel like he was just a little too nonchalant, laissez-faire about the whole thing. And, the COVID or pandemic, whatever we want to call it. But him getting shot, I can't still wrap my brain around it. And I almost feel, because you know me, I got a little bit of that ignorant conspiracy theorist to me, right? And I'm not saying these things aren't happening to him, but it just seems so unreal that somebody that's a billionaire, that has security, right, that has been in the limelight now for going on 10 years with this presidential stuff, okay? And the last two attempts are within just a couple of months. It's crazy to me, Obama, people hated Barack Obama. People, maybe not like Trump. He's not as polarizing, but there were people that really had a lot of disdain for him. We never heard anything like this happen about him. Like maybe it did, but it got to the point where they caught it before it happened. But people hated that man. People thought Obama was the devil.
So it shows who's in charge of protecting the presidents and the most sensitive, the most powerful politicians. Who is in charge?
Yeah.
And now there's the conspiracy that how the Secret Service continued to fuck up. It's so bad, it seems like it's on purpose.
Yeah.
How did this guy even know that Trump was going to be there? They say camped out. Who did he have any more information? Now, the good thing about it, they didn't blow his head off, so they can ask him questions. But the Secret Service is either really incompetent, which is bad, or they're not really trying that hard. I don't know. It brings a lot of questions, especially if you are a fan of Trump. And this pushes people to vote for him.
Yeah.
Because someone doesn't want him to be president. Someone wants him dead. And two pretty close assassin attempts in 2 months, that's a problem.
Now,
Yeah.
so the first, the teenager, the kid, the younger, whatever.
Yeah.
I heard that, and I didn't fact check this. Maybe you heard this. Maybe you guys in the chat heard this. That kid was in a BlackRock commercial. The company BlackRock that runs the world basically was in a BlackRock, and I heard that this gentleman also has some affiliation or was in some kind of ad or something with BlackRock. Is there something there, or is that a coincidence, or is
Well,
that?
I'm not sure about the other guy, but I know he's been on TV. He's been in Ukraine, right? Like he's been. It's very interesting that these people have been filmed and they've been in some kind of content.
Which is odd.
It is odd,
right?
And people start connecting. And also, problem is with conspiracy, they theories or even nuts. They take little facts and then they really try to jam it to create a narrative. But this is not good. And apparently, there's going to be results from the first assassination attempt that's supposed to be coming out. That's supposed to be kind of crazy. And then they got to investigate this one.
Yeah.
And I believe the rhetoric needs to be toned down. Everyone needs to calm down. We've been through 4 years of Trump. Nothing like apart from COVID, Russia didn't invade Ukraine.
Yeah.
Afghanistan did not just deteriorate and lost soldiers and now who knows what's going on over there with all the weapons and all the technology that's left behind. None of that was happening. I mean, if you like it or not, I think people were the world leaders were so scared of Trump because he was so crazy and unpredictable. They didn't do this crazy shit. As soon as he left, certain things happened. Everyone started coming in the country.
I think you bring up a good point, and other people have mentioned it, talking about Trump and his temperament. And I think what you're leaning towards, and correct me if I'm wrong, is like, other world leaders were afraid of that temperament and his aggressiveness and how he's like, nah, we're gonna do this. And and he was very steadfast in that, and knowing that he's got the button of the most powerful military at his disposal, right? And he can press a button on any one of these countries. And I think the countries know that, and that gives us a lot of strength. There's power in that, right? But then the opposite side of that, a lot of people don't like that, because when you lead like that, and then you might have to go to World War III if you do press that button. That's what's going to happen. And we don't want that either. So it's like this weird space we're in with that level of leadership, right? And I don't know if that's the right way or not. I'm not sure, but I think an argument can be made for either side. But you bring up a good point about while he was president, we didn't have some of the issues we have now. But I do think something that was out of everybody's hands has a big deal to do with that. And the pandemic, that skewed so much of everything. Because if that doesn't happen, Trump probably goes back to back.
That's what I think. I really believe that. I think if there was not any kind of COVID outbreak that came from China in that lab, it would have been hard for Biden to beat him. Because if you say Biden may come back to try, I think because there was low interest rates, the economy was pretty decent. I'm thinking it's so long ago, you kind of remember like what was going on before that.
Yeah,
things were okay.
Just okay.
We're okay. You were able to still buy groceries. Groceries weren't expensive as they are now. It was decent. I remember I got fired early before I guess I was in the pandemic happened, but I didn't like officially hit yet.
Yeah.
But I was planning on, okay, I got to let go. I was going to start working on my own, doing some other stuff, some marketing shit. But I think he probably would have won. I think he would have won. And I think the pandemic just went and the George Floyd thing kind of just made. I think the problem is we all stuck in here. This guy died. Many people did not know exactly how he died. It just was his foot was on his neck, not the fact that he OD'd, but the foot was on his neck. He screamed for his mom, or apparently that was his mom. His girl called mama, but whatever. And everyone got mad at the institutions, and started beating up cops. And it was the most chaotic time, and at least in my life, when I just going outside, seeing all these crazy things happening.
Yeah.
But the issue are these attacks just going to push Trump over the top?
Was because we talked about the first one. I kind of felt like, man, he's winning. Like this is at that point. I believe Biden was still.
Biden was still he was still there. Yeah.
Obviously, Kamala comes in and it's like you have this shift of she raises $1 billion or whatever.
Yeah, she got all the money. She's younger. Yeah.
And then it's like now it's leaning the other way. I mean, in my opinion, she whooped his ass in the debate. Maybe we differ on opinion on that. She made him look really, really, really bad, in my opinion. And I think then it shifted that way. And then my question to you is, there's another attempt on this man's life, a former president. There's another attempt put him back in the solidify him winning again. What do you say to that? Do you think it really rallies his side to where it's like, hey, we got to really get out the vote. We got to get.
Yeah, definitely gonna. Yeah, you're right. It's definitely gonna get some more money in there. I think it's going to be close. He is not losing as much as he was losing in 2016 in the polls, and there's it's going to be a close one. It's going to be close, but I think everyone needs to calm down with the rhetoric. If you keep telling people that Trump is going to murder you, there's going to be people out there that try to stop it.
Yeah.
You know, one of the big things about Hollywood and the most popular movies, the movies that do really well, are is last I think 15 to 20 years, is all these Marvel movies, right? All these comic book movies, and what they're usually all about, saving the world from the bad guy. Everything is black and white, right?
Yeah.
Everything, you know, there's no nuance to everything. Thanos is bad. So you got to do whatever it takes to take down Thanos, because Thanos is going to kill everyone and enslave you and take away your rights for abortions and all this type of stuff and kill all the black people. So people listen to that enough. One man will say, you know what? I got to do something. Let me get my AK-47 and my scope and hide in a bush.
Only a man with mental health issues would do that, though.
Are you serious? I mean, it's breaking news. You got to look at P. Diddy key to the city.
No Diddy.
Yeah, no Diddy, definitely no Diddy. He got arrested. I mean, it's about time. I mean, you know.
For what?
Oh yeah. I guess he's been arrested. Yeah.
It was the they raided his house or whatever, right? But that was
They probably got enough. They probably got enough to.
See, I think I remember saying I didn't think he was gonna go and spend any time in prison. Maybe jail. I you know. Maybe there's something I don't know, but
I thought he was a damn informant because they weren't doing anything. I'm like, well, he must know something because they're not doing anything at all. Yeah. Yep. Diddy has been arrested and taken into federal custody.
What's the charge?
They won't tell you until a little later. Probably sex trafficking. That's the easiest one.
I remember. Okay, I remember.
It has to be. Yeah. Sex trafficking is definitely alleged sex trafficking offense. Because that's why I listen. It's good that we all kind of know this situation. Now, Diddy's a terrible person. He's going to probably get his just due. Guys,
he is.
If you become a very famous rapper or a famous person that has lots of money, and then you look at an IG model because she has the big buns, or she got nice hair or nice eyes, and she looks delicious or whatever, and you text her, say, "I'll fly you out." Don't do it.
Don't do it.
That is sex trafficking. Like legit.
We've mentioned this before, and I think you even said something similar, and I never thought about it.
Dude, yo, it is. I watched this video. This one guy broke it down, and everyone in the barbershop in the video was like, they all ran out like laughing because they're like, they all did it. But you should not fly out a woman for sex you don't know personally. I'll say that. Do not fly out a woman that you do not know personally for sex. You better know her. You better have already messed with her. I would preach it to every athlete, every rapper, because you will never know that you may get caught up in some weird stuff.
That happens all the time. People meet online all the time, Hannibal, and they I'll fly you out, what? And it might not be the IG model way. It might not be how P. Diddy was doing it, but I think that's kind of common where you're traveling and meeting people you don't know. Now, I guess maybe if the communication is geared towards just around sex.
I'm assuming that's what it is all about. Like if you're a hip hop, like you are an athlete, you play for the fucking you play for the Bears, man.
Yeah. And
you got the big contract. You hanging out, and you going through your IG, and they may hit you up.
I'm sure.
If Iggy's hitting Pedro up, he's the quarterback of the Bears.
I'm flying.
And you flying her out for sex? Then she may turn around and say,
"I'm not." Listen, if I'm single and I ain't got no kids and I'm a professional athlete, I'm not even thinking twice about it. It's there's a few.
So hopefully
I'll fly them all out, and I'll be in jail in 20 years.
While
I do
it happens all the time, but when you look at the context of sex trafficking, it's you taking someone from one place to another state, and for sex.
But hold on, isn't it against their will?
Not necessarily. Well, kind of, but not.
Right.
We think about it. You could lure them for all types of things: drugs, money.
P. Diddy's going down. Damn.
You doing it with you bringing your boys. So there's actually another thing too. It's like, yo, come out with me, hang with my boys. Oh, I got a girl for you. I got a girl for everybody. That's not like.
Yeah, but I think
that's what Diddy was doing clearly.
And that's a cultural thing, though, and especially in hip hop.
Well,
right?
yeah. I mean, they rap about
groupies,
it. Bring the hoes out. Where the hoes at?
Yeah, man. I think that's very common. I mean, it's happening still now, man. Especially with the IG, like you mentioned, with social media, getting the DMs and getting quick, like,
the girls, because most of them who are participating in that are looking for the athlete to fly them out.
Yeah.
So they got the OnlyFans. They got the pictures, the reels of them showing their everything, and they are out there to score with that. So I think all right, probably 90% of the time nothing probably happens as long as you take care of them. You don't mess with them.
Yeah.
The two consenting adults, no problem. But I just feel like to protect your money, to protect your everything, that you shouldn't do it. Not to say that it's all wrong, but you know what I mean? Like,
you're not wrong.
You have too much to lose by doing it. I'll
say this. If I'm glad I got 2 daughters, I got a girl, and I ain't broke. If I was rich and I had none of them things,
it looks like if you would just bring them a Uber in the same state, it's not as bad as taking them from one state to the next, because that's when the feds come in.
Yeah, that's correct. And I think it's the good point that the feds are coming in because you got intercontinental possibilities.
Yeah, as soon as you cross a different state, it's
different state. Yeah. You're crossing a different country, continent. Like, it becomes different. Plus, these FBI agents, these prosecutors, P. Diddy's a big name, household name, right? So it's like, all right, I'm going to make a case on this guy, because if it's Hannibal or Pedro, they're not coming after.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. And P. Diddy is a legit predator. Like, it's no doubt about it. He's Epstein, he's Weinstein, he's Cosby, he's R. Kelly. So he's extremely manipulative, disgusting predator. So it's and I love this music. I also listen to this music. It is what it is. Like, I can't separate the art from the artist. I know some people do not do that. Like, they say, listen, I can't listen to any R. Kelly music. Like, all right, but you listen to Chris Brown music. So it's like, all right, y'all still screaming for Chris Brown. You know what Chris Brown did? I mean, it was pretty public. So it's interesting. Some people do pick and choose what their standards are, but make Michael Jackson music comes on, people dancing to it now. So
I think that's a good point. And we can say, listen, we can say, I know you. A lot of people in the chat, and I know y'all love Trump, but listen, the same could be said for him. He's done some ratchet shit in his life.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point.
Donald Trump's done some ratchet shit, and to me,
the accusations, some of the stuff,
part of my disdain for the MAGA sheep and whatever. I've cooled down the rhetoric because I know I have to, but it's the hypocrites that look at him as he's some savior from Jesus, right? And he's not. He's not a faithful man. He's got 3 baby mamas. He's he's not the guy that the right really feels that they. I
think it's a spectrum. I think it's a spectrum. Sometimes they do it to spite you, to throw it
probably,
and they just to mess with people who do not like him.
Yeah,
but I'm sure not everyone loves him, but it's kind of like they have 2 choices, and you pick the bad out of the worst. Or if you think he's amazing, you think he's great, but there's reasons for it. It's the policies that he's going for, not necessarily his personality, because he is a really rich guy from New York City that most people can't relate to. Before that, he was Democrat. He was with the Hollywood elite. He was part of these situations. So then he turned, and it makes sense. I don't mind changing your mind. I don't mind you becoming more conservative as you get older. I think a lot of us do that. But he has taken his new identity and he's rolling with it, and a lot of people are riding with it for various reasons. The ones who say he's came from Jesus, I'm not a very religious guy, so I can't argue with that. Like, if that's what you feel like, what? All right.
And I think Kiki brings a good point. The smart people on the right don't care. It's about economics and what he can do.
Yeah, the policies. It should be,
that,
but the rhetoric does matter. But yeah, exactly. Yeah, and some people really have the progressive stuff from Biden and Harris. They do not like it. They think it's a problem. They think that a lot of issues are because of what happened in the last 3 years. So it is what it is. I know I saw a comment about Jay-Z getting arrested because what he did to Lil Wayne.
Oh man, what do you think about that? Did Lil Wayne get snubbed like that?
Well, apparently, I don't know. Look this up, but apparently the city gets to have the final say. So it's not necessarily Jay-Z said bring him in, and that like apparently New Orleans had to say that they were okay with Kendrick.
See that? Okay.
So if that's true, then it's not really Jay-Z's fault. It's
no.
New Orleans didn't want,
Jay-Z's behind Rock Nation, and from what I understand, Rock Nation is who has the contract to supply the artist. Correct?
Yeah.
It's something in that vein.
They work with entertainment. That's why Rihanna was under he's responsible for that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't hate the Kendrick Lamar thing. I think from a business standpoint, it makes a lot of sense considering the volume of streams and that song, and I get it. But yeah, if it's in New Orleans, Lil Wayne's just as big as Kendrick Lamar. In New Orleans, he's way bigger. So I'm surprised that there isn't some kind of, I don't know.
All right. So at first, I agree with you guys. I was like, or the people who are like, yeah, Lil Wayne should have been on it. How dare you? He's one of the greatest rappers ever. I think Kendrick knows that. Kendrick even said like Lil Wayne, like they have a song together. It's called Mona Lisa. Check it out. It's an amazing song. It's an amazing song.
Is Lil Wayne as big of a household name right now as Kendrick Lamar? To people that are going to watch,
Kendrick Lamar is a bigger rapper right now. Right now, Kendrick's the hottest rapper right now.
Yes,
no doubt. He beat the brakes off of Drake, and Drake was the most popular artist.
Yeah,
everyone knows Kendrick Lamar because he beat up on Drake, and obviously he's a pretty good rapper. But in terms of like who's the hottest rapper, like if Kendrick came on a show or came on had a show, he would sell out faster than anyone else.
Yeah, and I think that song alone, and Not Like Us, and the other ones, and Humble, and he's going to be able to play some hits. And I think to the common person, men and women, white or black, whatever, watching the Super Bowl, that's going to be more of a pop than Lil Wayne. So it's a business.
Yeah, it's a few issues. Like Lil Wayne has tons of hits. How many hits can he sing on a Super Bowl without all the curse words, everything blared out?
Yeah, Kendrick.
Like he doesn't have any family. I won't say Kendrick's family friendly. His like Lil Wayne songs aren't necessarily geared towards your whole family listening to him rap. I would love it. It would be if he was able to do that and rap A Millie and like 6 foot 7 foot, and I would listen and just totally uncensored. It would be amazing. Well, but I don't think those songs would be able to be on a halftime show.
It's in New Orleans, so you could bring out. I don't know if he would bring out the Cash Money Boys or the Cash Money Clique, but it's interesting because if you're Lil Wayne, you bring out Drake, you bring out Nicki Minaj, you bring out
Yeah. He would bring out the whole. I mean, he's the mentor, and that's a kind of unfortunate thing. I think that's why Lil Wayne, he said himself that he was hurt. He can't go on that Kendrick show. He can't.
Yeah.
Because Drake is basically his protege.
Yeah.
And you notice Lil Wayne he don't interfere, but that's his boy.
Yeah.
So if him jumping on with Kendrick will be a slight to Drake. So that's why he realized that he can't come on. So it's going to be unfortunate because it's going to be Kendrick. What New Orleans, like Cash Money is New Orleans.
Yeah.
So Baby ain't coming out. Manny Fresh ain't coming out. Like none of those artists are going to come out because they're with Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne was with Drake. So it is unfortunate for that aspect.
For us hip hop guys and gals, they grew up listening to that. We know those names. The average person, 95% of people that are going to watch the Super Bowl halftime show have no idea who Lil Baby is.
Gen Z only knows Back That Ass Up, probably, right? So because Cash Money taking over for 1999.
Yeah, it's not. It's
so that's 25 years ago. Jeez.
I will say this. I think it's kind of amazing. The hip hop and R&B have taken over the halftime show, right?
Well, Jay-Z's helped out with that. Yeah,
taken over the halftime show for the last basically 10 years. I believe 6 or 7 have been hip hop and R&B. Even just
is there any artist that's not hip hop R&B that should be on there? Like I don't follow the hits anymore.
I can give you a few of the Foo Fighters, and I think they've been asked.
They're still hot?
They're not, but they would put on a fantastic show.
Yeah. Rock usually does pretty well, and I like their stuff.
And they got a few hits that are very, very, very good.
Yeah,
Hero song would be. I mean, that's the one I can think of that a lot of people are like, man, the Foo Fighters would be great to see them, right? But that's the first one that kind of pops into my mind. We've had already. I think we've had a lot of the big pop stars or hip hop stars, rap with Dre and all them. That was great, right? We've had, but back in the day it was more singers, like more R&B but pop, like the
dancing. The whole is a performance involved. I mean, it had Usher, and Usher. I thought Usher did a great job.
Yeah.
He danced his ass off. I thought it was a solid show.
Yeah.
Tom McDonald probably not going to be able to go on Super Bowl.
Tom's legit though. I like some of Tom's stuff.
But Tom is pretty good.
He's talented. I like him. Taylor Swift would be. She doesn't need the Super Bowl, and that would be annoying. I think.
I would assume that she already did. She never did it before.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I saw on the internet again. I don't know if that's true that Drake has been offered multiple times and he has declined. Now I don't know if that's true.
That's weird.
But that'll be weird if that is true.
Yeah, that's weird.
Also, maybe he just people are weird. Sometimes they're like, I don't want to do it because you don't get paid for it.
No,
right? No, the artists do not get paid for that.
You don't. And I've heard stories. Yeah. They've had people pay or asked to pay because of the bump you get in your catalog sales.
Right. Yeah, so, that's the idea. We're not going to pay you, but what you get by having millions and millions of people watch you, that you get a bump. Like whatever you're trying to sell or whatever you're trying to do, that you will get a better profile. So we're not paying you.
I've heard.
Oh, they had to pay them.
Yeah.
So Kendrick's paying.
That's
no,
weird.
I don't think Kendrick's paying.
But there's a lot of time and effort and planning that has to go into just
right.
There's a lot of moving parts. So to not get paid, but then they obviously know you're going to get paid on the back end. So you're going to make money from your catalog because you're going to have more streams. You're going to have more this. You got the merchandise. You got just the overall exposure. You could plug a new album. A lot of them do that. So you're going to get money. But yeah, I would imagine that gig to me, to do the Super Bowl halftime show, that's a couple $1 million you got to pay me to do that. I would imagine. If you're a big artist like that.
Yeah, but I mentioned because Kendrick is not that kind of, he's not that in your face. I want to be. He's not clout chasing. At least the aspect of trying to get the biggest shows, or whatever. So it's interesting that they picked him, that he would still have to pay. But I think he is the hottest rapper right now.
Yeah,
Lil Wayne has not been. I still think he's one of the greatest rappers. Anytime he gets on a feature, he murders it. But he's not hot. That guy. He's not. This is not 2008.
No,
it's not 2010. And also, the man is not even a fan of the New Orleans Saints. You guys all realize that?
He's a Packers fan.
So
yeah,
maybe he would have been a Saints fan. New Orleans would be like, but the fact that he walks around cheesehead, like, first of all, why? I think his father was a Green Bay Packers fan. And that does happen. Sometimes you take the stupid team your parents cheered for, and all of a sudden you're cheering for them. But like, yo, dude, you don't, I doubt you ever live. You're not going to ever live in Wisconsin.
Right.
It looks like it's very cold over there. Like, except why,
weird team too. It's like, he's a Rodgers fan too, and they were good, I guess. But it is kind of strange. I mean, listen, I sent you that thing today. You mentioned like following sports teams because maybe your father or your parents or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Your boy Jalen Brunson wearing a Philadelphia Eagles jersey. If I'm a New York Knicks fan, I'm looking at him like a little sideways. I ain't mad at him, but I'm just looking like, I'm squinting at him like, what?
I mean, when you saw it, I did get a little annoyed, but apparently he's fans of the goddamn Eagles. And I see older pictures of him. So there's a picture of him. I'm gonna show you right now.
Yeah.
Well, you can tell it's older because his hair is short. I think he's with his sister, and he's with the. Let me see. Let me show you. If I can find it. But yeah, I was a little annoyed. But at the same time, Pedro, this guy decided not to take how much money? How much less money?
Oh, he took like $100 million, something stupid. It was a
Listen, you gotta let him be a dumbass Eagles fan if he's going to not take that money. So you gotta take the good with the bad. So look at how old this picture is.
Fair. That's fair.
It's loading up right now.
That's a fair. I mean, listen,
It's a mature way of looking at it.
Yes.
But apparently he's been on this Eagle thing for a minute, and he's from Jersey. Jersey people are weird.
That picture, he looks like a regular dude, right? He don't look like an NBA superstar. Is that wrong to say, or am I?
No, he doesn't.
He look like a regular.
Everything about him is a little different. I think that's why people like him.
Yeah.
It's annoying. He knows we don't like it, but he's a fan of the Eagles. He's been a fan of the Eagles. I'll let him go. The man has sacrificed 7 figures, 8 figures for the Knicks and their fan base. I'll leave him alone. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I mean,
it's fine.
He's. I'm not putting him in a realm of like Russell Wilson, goofy or whatever, because I don't think Jalen Brunson's goofy, but he is different. But I'm a fan of Jalen Brunson. I like his game.
He's a little bit more open. He's more open.
Yeah.
He shows a little bit more personality.
Yeah.
Josh Hart, the way they go back and forth in a way that I never see Russell. I think Russell Wilson is so in his own protective bubble that you don't really know. And that's and also he's very standoffish. Other athletes did
much. He's not vulnerable in that way. Yeah.
Right. So, but yeah, I can see a little bit of that, but I think Brunson's a little bit more open and expressive with himself. And what is Russell Wilson doing right now? Holding the clipboard?
He ain't playing. I don't know. Listen, I don't know Russell Wilson. If the Steelers keep winning and Justin Fields isn't playing bad, he's not seeing the field again.
Yeah, of course. He's the young man.
Put him back.
Yeah. We got ride with
Yeah.
I mean, in that team, that they won, it was 13-6 to beat the Broncos. It was mostly a defensive battle from what I remember. But
Fields isn't losing them a game. He's not turning the ball over. You know what I mean? So you ride with that, and you ride that momentum. You don't put in Wilson.
No, it's pretty much it for him.
Yeah.
Lucky, and I think the Broncos had their rookie quarterback, but he struggled, and Fields he made more plays. So it is what it is. But yeah, I think that's the last we'll see of Russell Wilson. I think we talked about this. You say borderline Hall of Famer. I forgot what was your thoughts?
I don't think he gets in, man. If his career ends today, he's not in. He, like I said,
what's the limit? Was it 15 years? What's the limit? How many years you got to be, and then eventually you are no longer eligible? I forgot that. I know baseball is like 15 years or some crazy thing like that, right?
I don't know if he gets in
at all.
The Super Bowl that he won, he wasn't like he was a couple years after. Russell, when they started to let him eat a little bit and let him cook, and all that, he was very game manager. It was the Legion of Boom that won. It was the defense, right? So I just don't know if he gets.
So he's a Hall of very good, not Hall of Fame.
That's my opinion. Yeah,
I think he gets in.
You think he gets in?
If I was betting, he'll get in. Yeah,
I think if you look at the numbers and you stack them up against other people, the Phillip Rivers, the Ben Roethlisbergers, Ben won a couple, Phillip didn't win one. Even Eli Manning.
Ben is getting in. Phillip probably not going to get. He should, but
if you look at all their numbers, his don't stack up as they're not as good as those other guys, and those other guys have either more championships or just better numbers. So I don't know. Maybe I'm a hater. I don't know if Russell.
We'll see. Maybe he's not full first ballot, but it's possible because he's kind of like he was a popular quarterback for a long time. Everyone knows Russell Wilson, what he was doing. Seahawks games, they were getting a lot of push. There was getting a lot, they should have won 2 Super Bowls. It wasn't his fault. I mean, he probably should just gave the ball up. But
I disagree. I disagree. I think Russell Wilson's too passive. And you're about to win a Super Bowl. If I'm a quarterback and I am that guy, I am not. I'm calling a timeout if I got one. I'm handing it off anyway. I think he, when you think about other quarterbacks like Aaron Rodgers, a Mahomes, they're not doing that. They're not. Tom Brady's not doing that, right?
No, Tom Brady's going to pass the ball.
Right.
I mean, he's going to hand off that ball
to
Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah. he's gonna check to another. He's gonna audible. Peyton Manning's not doing that. So to me, there's a difference, and that's what separates the Hall of Famers from guys like Russell Wilson.
I hear you. And but yeah, you can tell his image and his identity, and he's very closed off. So we'll see.
I mean,
but,
he's got Sierra, man. They got.
He'll be fine. He'll be fine. I mean,
millions of dollars. He's fine.
Fine. But I guess we'll be seeing a lot of pictures of Diddy. I guess they have enough for him, and let's see if he tries to negotiate. I mean, right now it's a lot of sex trafficking. There's going to be a lot of lawsuits. I think another artist a couple of weeks ago sued. He lost another 8-figure lawsuit that he has to pay $100 million. And then one of his artists, it was a group called Danny Kane, and then they went to Dirty Money.
Those are girls.
One of the two girls accused him of basically the same thing, touching her inappropriately, basically trying to make it seem like to make it in this industry, you gotta have sex with people, just creating that environment. So she just dropped a lawsuit on him. So this is the end. This is kind of probably the beginning of the end for Diddy. Had a remarkable career, but he was a total psychopath.
What is
deviant?
He's got to be 50 something. How old is he?
Yeah, he's probably definitely in his probably
early 50s.
Early, maybe mid 50s is how old P. Diddy is.
54, 55.
But he's definitely in his 50s. Let's see, 54. Yeah,
54. So he could do 10 years, right?
Yeah, I mean, if he's gonna probably have to work out a good deal. Start snitching, telling people who else was involved in these situations.
He's a snitch. Diddy?
Yeah, he's snitching.
He's snitching.
Yeah, he's gonna try to get as little bit of as possible, a little bit about in terms of damage. Yeah,
maybe this on Shine. Maybe Shine will do another 15. Poor Shine.
I like Shine. Shine has some potential, man, and he took that charge for him, and I think a lot of that happened, and it's gonna be a lot that's gonna be interesting. I mean, there's definitely gonna be something that we're gonna be checking out for a while. Yeah. The fall of P. Diddy comes, and we'll see. I mean, you remember that one dude that got arrested for for Tupac? He was basically saying Diddy did it. Like Diddy set this up. He was paying to try to and the way Diddy acts, you is it hard to believe to dismiss that Diddy he thought he was Scarface. Like Diddy's favorite movie is Scarface. I remember he said that. That's my favorite. He said I watched Scarface hundreds of times. This dude, he thought he was Scarface.
You would think when you get to a certain point of money and responsibility, and you're a CEO, and you have a lot of influence, and you're doing all the things that he's done that are positive, and it seems like you would just stay that course. But it's like he got all this notoriety, this money, this fame, all these partnership deals, and he's done some good things or whatever. And then now I feel like as he's gotten older, things have come out, but he hasn't changed his behavior. Like he's still trying to be Scarface when he should just be he should chill. You got all this money and influence, man. You could change the world. You could change your community, right? And it's like he's just trying to get his dick wet. Basically,
I think he was always that person.
You think
he
so?
was always that person. I think that whatever issues and traumas he had early in his life, he didn't resolve them. I know his father wasn't around. I think his father got killed, shot and murdered. So that there he goes, gets raised by a single mom. He's clearly went through some things and then incorporated with, I can do this now I can be a predator because I have all the money, all the power. People are afraid. I mean, he could blackball you in the industry. That's how big Diddy was. I mean,
for sure. Yeah.
Wendy Williams, radio personality, said this in the 90s that Diddy was gay and he was doing all types of weird Diddy party stuff. Said this 30 years ago.
Is that when she had her radio show?
What was that?
What would have been when she had her radio show?
Her radio show. And he got her blackballed out of the radio. And then, she was out for a minute. And then she kind of came back and rejuvenated her own career and got on TV. But as soon as he heard that, he's like, you can't be in New York being a DJ. No, get out of here. Even though it looked like she was correct. And unfortunately, she can't even enjoy it because I know she has like a all dementia or something like that. But
yeah,
if you pissed him off, your career was over. And I think he used that to take advantage of people. So
yeah,
I'm interested to see what's going on with that.
I don't think you're wrong. I think you bring up a really interesting point also about trauma and being stuck, right? When you know your father or this or that, and you see things, and there are some men, more even so than women, they get stuck at an age or stuck in a trauma that they can't get out of without help, right? And they get stuck in that place, and that's not an excuse, but I think there's something to that with some people, and I don't know if it's Diddy or not, but it might be.
And he's in an industry that enabled that kind of behavior because you had multiple music executives, you have multiple people who are gatekeeping opportunities that took advantage of people, took advantage of women and men.
Yeah,
young, naive. They want to be famous. They want to have that life-changing money, income. They want to make it, and a lot of those people exploited, and he was one of them.
Yeah,
I guess he was the most infamous of all of them. But the culture was toxic already. So him coming in as the apex predator of already a toxic industry, he was able to enjoy himself for decades.
And he had the hottest rapper alive on his
his stable of artists was top tier, and the way everyone kind of everyone fell off, it's kind of sad.
Yeah,
when the kind of talented group of artists he had that could rival any other record company, and how everyone either abandoned or died or whatever. It's quite remarkable.
That has to say a lot about him.
Yes, absolutely.
Lack of leadership or his predatory.
It was always about him.
Yeah.
Like with like Suge saying, I'm not defending Suge or anything, but Suge's like, you don't want to be with somewhere where they're gonna be all in the videos.
Remember that?
They're gonna be come to Death Row. Because that's not Suge ain't going and trying to be in the video. He ain't, but he was also doing some other shit. But you know what I mean? Like, I think Diddy was always about himself.
Yeah.
He wanted to be out there.
Suge Knight was a gangster. P. Diddy seems like he's just a manipulator.
Yeah.
And a narcissist, and just kind of a guy that is very... I was a big Puff Daddy fan, man. I think I told you this. I did a whole report on him. It's cool. Like, I was like, oh, P. Diddy.
Yeah, man. I remember buying the P. Diddy and the Family CD. I remember when Victory came out and that beat and
that video.
Every song, he was just able to get every sample, and it just worked very, very well. And then, like I said, the stable he had the Locks, he had Mace, he had Lil' Kim, he had Faith Evans, he had Total, he had Black Rob, he had so many. Craig Mack, like he had so many fantastic, great artists, producers, the ghostwriters, all those people. And he fucked it all up. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Of course, man. And Macy's Macy's doing well. Slim down. He was gone a month. All of a sudden, he looks like a different person.
Man,
I don't know what it is.
A Killer Cam, Murder Mate. We need an album, man. I don't know what they're doing. I know they got busy with the podcast.
I think the podcast is making so much money. Like, we'll just do freestyles every couple of weeks. But I would love an album with those two.
They're just dangling this carrot in front of us, man. Give me an album. Give me 8 tracks. That's all I need.
Right. Like, you don't go too crazy. You can do a Kanye, do the 7-track thing that was weird a couple of years ago. But definitely, I would definitely enjoy that. Or have a show. Yeah, definitely, man. But on that note, guys, I know we went over a little bit. I guess I'll be checking out some of this P. Diddy arrest stuff, but I guess we're gonna know too much about what. I'll probably wait until I see some more details. He's gonna definitely get hit with some sex trafficking charges.
Crazy.
And he's gonna have to get his lawyer, and he's probably gonna be in house arrest somewhere in some fancy place, and he's gonna have to work out a deal. And then all the lawsuits gonna start to come in, and he's gonna go broke. That's my guess. What do you think is gonna happen to him?
I wonder if there's like I originally thought he wasn't going to do any time, but I think he's going to do something. Something's going to happen. Beyond,
for Fed time, you do it. You got to do 85% of that. But
for him, he's not going to be in Rikers Island, right?
No. Federal pen. Yeah, federal pen. Yeah. Some nice. Some, you're getting locked down, but you will be in a much better facilities than like Rikers.
I don't know.
It depends on, and again, it depends on what information. If he starts dropping dimes on everybody, Chicky Chop says, "Did he on house arrest on Epstein Island?"
Maybe you know what? Maybe this is a ploy by the FBI and the whatever. Maybe they feel like he has some info on Epstein and other people. That
I thought he was the reason why he was able to beat Cassie down in a video and nothing happened, and it was done years ago. I'm like, he must be an info. He must be a snitch. Like how you were able to do this?
Above this, obviously there is, right? That they're trying to get to, and Diddy's like, ooh, he looks like a guy that might snitch. So there might be, I think there's going to be more to come. So.
Yeah, definitely. Chicken Chops, appreciate you with the tip. Appreciate that. On that note, guys, be careful out there. Don't bring no woman you don't know to a different state. Damn it, I'm telling you. You never know. Or definitely don't say, "Hey, bring 3 of your friends for my boys." Don't do that. Don't do that.
Listen, man. Listen, it's lucky. It's good for both of us. We're just regular dudes. We can talk about these crazy people.
Oh yeah. But if any of us blows up or wins a parlay and get an extra 6 figures in there, don't be taking a little bit of your money like, "Oh, come over here," which is
I'm gonna have. Listen, man. We're going to Australia. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yes, we go there and don't ship anyone anywhere. Yeah, good to go.
We fly there.
Definitely. All right, guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll see you guys on Wednesday. Peace out.
Going to Australia.